Vintage News presents.
Afternoon guys, Rocky again. Welcome to another quick video. So in this one we're going to be taking a quick look at this cheap Super Nintendo-like USB controller. So first up, why would you want one? Well, playing emulated games on your computer is one thing, or a Raspberry Pi, but you need a controller. So most people use whatever they got to hand. So for example, this PS3 USB controller or an Xbox 360 controller. They work great, but the temptation is to use the analog sticks to control the characters when these games are all designed for digital. So, I mean, I found this myself when playing Amiga games, that it's just not feel right. So you want to use a better controller. We've got a few options. First of all, use a real Super Nintendo controller. You can get an adapter. This into the adapter, other end out USB. Not the cheapest of things to buy, to be frank. They do work fine, but it's another adapter and it can wear in the cable. The next one, if you're really crazy, this is the genuine NES controller. I bought a kit a few years ago now from retrousb.com. You basically open it up, desolder some pads, and solder in a USB controller chip, and out you get a proper NES controller here, with the USB on the other end. Disadvantage of this is, well, one, it's not that cheap, and two, you've basically butchered an original controller just so you can beat USB. So, this brings me to this little baby. This one was under £3 delivered from Malaysia. At the moment, I think I paid £260.68 for that one. For this one, they're slightly more expensive, but they're still under £3. So, you get yourself a USB native controller, plug it in, works perfect on my Mac, PC, the Raspberry Pi detects it fine. And it's also the shape, I suppose, of an original NES Super Nintendo controller. So, first of all, they are exactly the same size. It looks like they've hacked the old molds from this to using this. It is obviously lighter. Not by much though, it doesn't feel too bad, but it does feel cheap. Holding this, the purple one, you know, feels good in your palms and you just, that's fine. Holding this one, something about the curved edges just doesn't feel quite right. The triggers, or shoulder pads, whatever you call them, are very springy. The D-pad is an approximation of a SNES D-pad. Does the job fine. The buttons are slightly raised, so convex, not concave, just like the original Super Nintendo, but more so. They're fine. You can't, when hitting two buttons at the same time with that, it feels, doesn't hurt and it feels, you know, kind of natural. When you do it on this, it doesn't feel as good. Start and select are fine, they're just rubber. I've played a few Super Nintendo games and it's fine. Keep in mind, this is the price of a cup of coffee. It took a month to get here, it works fine. It's not this, but it's not far from it. And for under £3, so what's that? You know, basically nothing delivered. Works great. You're building like a cheap Raspberry Pi system. You buy a couple of these, play all your classic games. It's got enough buttons for, you know, most systems. Mine came from Malaysia, but I believe you can buy them from China. It's fine. It's not brilliant, but it's not terrible either. So, there you go guys. For £3 delivered, just eBay USB SNES controller. You'll see them. Thanks for watching guys. I'll catch you in the next video. Take care. Bye bye.